What's up, everybody? Gridiron Gilly Show. I'm the host, Gridiron Gilly. This show's for anybody who's ever worn pads or worn out the remote watching football. You don't have to play the game, you just have to love the game, and I hope that's why you're here. On this episode, I will be recapping Week 7 college football, breaking down Week 8 college football. Last week, me and my colleague, Colt Atkinson, we talked 10 games college football. We talked South Florida, North Texas. These are just a few games we talked about. We talked Alabama, Missouri, Ohio State, Illinois, Florida, Texas A&M, and then we wrapped it up with Arizona State, Utah. And there were some other games in there that we talked about. Missed on Oregon, Indiana. I missed on that one. I messed up, made a bad prediction. Indiana is the legitimate contender in the Big Ten and in the country as a national championship contender so far. And Signetti, he's the real deal there. He's a great coach, phenomenal coach. All he does is win. Give him a goog. And then, of course, Oklahoma, Texas. I had Texas to lose that game, and they won outright. They won in every facet of the game that you can win. They won. So, those was really my two bugaboos from last week. But this week, I'm going to talk 10 more games. I'm going to be alone this time. I don't have no companion here with me. It's just me, myself, and I. And my lemonade. I'm drinking some lemonade. The Country Time lemonade is pretty good stuff. Keep me hydrated. But the games I'll be talking. Well, let me just let you in on something real quick. The games I'm going to be breaking down for you today is going to be number 10 LSU at number 17 Vanderbilt, number 12 Georgia Tech at Duke, Baylor at TCU, number 4 Texas A&M at Arkansas, number 5 Ole Miss at Georgia, SMU at Clemson, Maryland at UCLA, number 11 Tennessee at 6 Alabama, 20 USC at 13 Notre Dame, and then we're going to wrap it up with 23 Utah at 15 BYU. So I got 10 more games coming at you this week. I'm not going to take up too much time, but I did break these down. I did look at some statistics, offensively, defensively, what these teams have done this year, and what they're probably going to wind up doing this week. So stick with me, because I'm about to get the ball rolling. First game I'm going to talk about here. Look, I turned right to it. I'm going to talk about 11 a.m. kickoff Central Time. We got number 10 LSU versus number 17 Vanderbilt. LSU's coming in this game 5-1. Vandy's coming in 5-1. LSU has beaten Clemson, Louisiana Tech, Florida, Southeastern Louisiana, lost to Ole Miss, and then just beat South Carolina. Vandy, they've beaten Charleston Southern, Virginia Tech, South Carolina, Georgia State, Utah State, lost to Alabama. Okay, so both teams have lost to in-conference competition. But right here, Vandy is the favorite. Vandy's the favorite, minus 2.5. The total's 49.5. Money line got Vandy minus 130, LSU plus 110. All right, let's look at the quarterbacks here. We got LSU quarterback Garrett Nussmeier. He's got 1,413 yards on the season, 9 touchdowns, 5 picks, 75.9 QB rating, 30th in the country. Running back Caden Durham, 67 carries, 283 yards, 2 touchdowns. A couple wide receivers to mention. Aaron Anderson, 23 receptions, 305 yards. Xavion Thomas, 14 receptions, 178 yards, 2 touchdowns. And you got Barron Brown, 25 receptions, 239 yards, 1 touchdown. On the defensive side of the ball, got a couple freaks at linebacker there. Harold Perkins, 27 tackles, 2 sacks. Wes Weeks, he's got 40 tackles. So, yeah, LSU, that's the guys I'm going to mention on their team that are, leading the team in the statistics by their position, okay? And then you got Vandy, Diego Pavia. He's got 1,409 yards on the year, 14 touchdowns, 4 picks. He's also got 60 carries for 352 yards, 2 touchdowns, 82.5 QBR, 14th in the country. Running back Cedric Alexander, 50 carries, 319 yards, 5 touchdowns. Wide receiver Junior Sherrill, 23 receptions, 274 yards, 5 touchdowns. Trey Richardson, 20 receptions, 242 yards, 1 touchdown. And then you got Eli Stowers, the tight end, of course, 25 receptions, 323 yards, 2 touchdowns. And then you got a couple guys on Vandy's defense. Safety C.J. Hurd, 31 tackles, 1 sack, 1 interception. You got an edge rusher over there, 17 tackles, 4.5 sacks, 1 forced fumble on the year. So that cat's pretty good. I forgot to write his name down, but if he's that good, we'll see what he's going to do against LSU this week. Offensively, LSU is averaging 373 yards a game, 258 through the air, 115 on the ground, 25 points per game. Don't have a very good run game at all at LSU. Defensively, they're giving up 297 yards a game, 194 through the air, 102 on the ground, and 11 points per game. So their defense is pretty solid, I would say. And then you got Vandy giving up 467, or Vandy offense. They're putting out 467 yards a game, 258 passing, 208 rushing, 43 points per game is what they're averaging. And then their defense is getting up 313, 222 through the air, 90 on the ground, 19 points per game. So Vandy can run the ball. Okay, they have Pavia. This Saturday, he's going to be the best player on the field. Okay, they're playing at home. They're excited. They have a lot of momentum. LSU, they're good. They just can't establish the run, and I don't think this is the game where they do establish the run. Vanderbilt, LSU's giving up 102 on the ground defensively. Vanderbilt's giving up 90. So Vanderbilt's run defense is better. Vanderbilt's giving up 222 through the air, though. So I feel like if Nuss is able to expose, Vanderbilt secondary and pick them apart, I think he can. But whenever I look at this game, really, I just think Vanderbilt is too much on the offensive side of the ball, running the game or running the ball, and they can still pass the football. So at the end of the day, I'm going to take Vanderbilt to win this one. I have written down here, I said, the key here is Vanderbilt's ability to run the football and LSU's lack thereof. Okay, because like I said, LSU can't establish a run game, can't run the ball efficiently, and if you can't do that, it's hard to win games. They have so far; they're 5-1, but it's because of a pretty good passing game and a solid defense. Okay, their defense isn't bad at all, but whenever they play stiffer competition soon, I think LSU will get exposed. Vandy's 23rd in rushing, 16th in rush defense. LSU's 113th in rushing and 21st in rush defense. So that tells you right there how LSU's got an okay run defense, but Vandy's still better statistically, and LSU cannot. 113th in rushing offense. That's not good at all. I'm going to take Vandy to win this one 24-20. If you disagree, let me know what you think. Let's go ahead and flip to the next game. Oh, yeah, this is my favorite one right here. Number 12, Georgia Tech at Duke. Georgia Tech's going into this one 6-0. Duke is 4-2. Duke is the favorite -2.5. Total 61.5. Duke money line's -140. Georgia Tech +120. Georgia Tech has beaten Colorado, Gardner-Webb, Clemson, Temple, Wake Forest, Virginia Tech. Duke has beaten Elon, lost to Illinois, lost to Tulane, beat NC State, Syracuse, and Cal. Okay, so I know Duke's a good team, though. I do know that, and I do know why they're favored in this game. But let's look at it. Georgia Tech, Haynes King, he's the quarterback there, 971 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. He's got 440 yards on the ground on 87 carries, 9 touchdowns, 81.8 QBR, 15th in the country. Jamal Haynes, running back, 59 carries, 311 yards, 3 touchdowns. Wide receiver Isaiah Canyon, 16 receptions, 245 yards, 2 touchdowns. You got the D-line, Akilo Stone, 11 tackles, 2 sacks, and the linebacker Kyle Edford, 35 tackles, 1 sack. Georgia Tech's also got a kicker. I want to mention him. Aiden Burr, he's 92% on field goal percentage. He's got a long of 55, 12 of 13 on the year, kicking field goals. So he's got a leg. This could be one of those games where it comes down to the special teams game, okay? I had to give me a sip of that lemonade real quick. Duke quarterback Darian Mensah, the Tulane transfer. He's phenomenal. He's a great quarterback, great young quarterback, and he's going to continue to just get better week in and week out. But Mensah, he's got 1,838 yards on the year, 15 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 78.9 QBR, 19th in the country. Running backs Nate Shepard, 56 carries, 447 yards, 4 touchdowns. Anderson Castle, 42 carries, 263, and 6 touchdowns. A few receivers here. You got Cooper Barkate, 26 receptions, 475, 4 touchdowns. Samir Hagans, 20 receptions, 248 yards, 4 touchdowns. And Quishon Brown, 27 receptions, 400 yards, 1 touchdown. So they have a plethora of weapons on the offensive side of the ball. Duke does. And they play pretty good defense. Duke's defensive end, Vincent Anthony Jr., 20 tackles, 6.5 sacks, 1 forced fumble. Safety Deshaun Stone, 41 tackles, 1 forced fumble, 1 interception. Offensively, Georgia Tech is averaging 476 yards, 238 passing, 238 rushing, 36 points per game. So dead even passing and rushing yards. Their defense giving up 358 yards a game, 188 passing, 169 rushing, 21 points per game. Duke is 467 yards a game, 310 passing, 157 rushing, 36 points per game. So they're both 36 points a game offensively. Georgia Tech has the edge rushing the football, but Duke has the edge passing the football, which you would expect because you got Georgia Tech quarterback who's a legitimate dual threat, and he runs the football a lot. So that's probably why Georgia Tech has 238 rush yards a game there. And then Duke's defense, they're getting at 375 a game, 252 passing, 123 rushing, 25 points less. So they give up significantly more through the air, but on the ground, Duke likes to play a little bit better defense in the run game than what Georgia Tech does. I've already mentioned who these teams have played. Statistically, both teams are pretty bad. Defensively, the best team both teams have, I have Georgia Tech's run game. It ranked 11th in the country. Like I said, 238 yards a game, and then Duke's passing game, 11th in the country, which 310 passing yards a game. Okay, so when I look at that, this is why I say Duke is the favorite on this one. You just look at what both teams do. Georgia Tech runs the ball well. Haynes King can run the ball. Jamal Haynes can run the ball. They can run the football. Okay, but Haynes King hadn't shown me that he can really throw the football. 971 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception through 6 games. That's not too impressive. I know he missed the game, but still, that's not impressive for a 6-0 team. But they do find ways to win, so you got to give them that. What I like here is Duke to win this one because of their 11th in the country passing. I think they'll be able to expose this Georgia secondary, who's giving up 188 pass yards a game. And also, like I said, Georgia Tech, their defense 169 rush yards a game. I think Duke can run the football on them too. I think they can just pick their poison. If they want to throw, they'll be able to. It's at home. The crowd will be in their favor. But if Duke wants to come out and throw 40 passes, I think they'll be fine in that department as well. So however Duke wants to win this game, that's how I see it going for them. Let's see what else I wrote down. Oh, Darian Mensah, Duke's quarterback. He's thrown 2 or more touchdowns a game this year with only 2 picks. And Duke, like I said, they can run the football. They got Shepard and Castle back there to run the ball. If Duke can make Haynes King throw the ball, I like Duke's chances. I just got through saying that. But I had to read it because I wrote it down. I got Duke winning this one, 36-21. That's right on pace. Duke's scoring 36 points a game, and they're giving up 25. So I'll give Georgia Tech 21. I think they're going to get into some situations where they're not going to be able to run the ball when they want to or when they need to, and they'll have to rely on the passing game. And I think that's where it's really going to hurt Georgia Tech is the passing game. Probably cause some turnovers, maybe some sacks, some flags even, maybe holding penalties. They'll have to play behind the chains. And then I really, really, really like Duke's chances on that. Like I said, Duke minus 2.5, but I'm going to take them by more than that. I'm going to take Duke to win that one outright. Next game, Baylor at TCU. Both teams going into this one 4-2. I really don't have to talk about this one because if you're a college football fan, even a casual football fan, you know what to expect from this one. But TCU is the favorite, minus 2.5, total 65.5. Money lines TCU minus 145 and Baylor plus 125. Baylor has lost to Auburn, beat SMU, beat Samford, lost to Arizona State, beat Oklahoma State, beat Kansas State. TCU has beaten North Carolina, Abilene Christian, SMU, lost to Arizona State, beat Colorado, lost to Kansas State. Okay. Baylor's quarterback Sawyer Robertson, he's got 2,058 yards on the season, 19 touchdowns, 4 picks, 77.6 QBR, 23rd in the country. Running back Bryson Washington, 102 carries, 557 yards, 5 touchdowns. Wide receiver Josh Cameron, 32 receptions, 456 yards, 3 touchdowns. Cole Wilson, 24 receptions, 324 and 2 touchdowns. Tight end Michael Trigg, 29 receptions, 439 yards, 4 touchdowns. I really like this guy, Michael Trigg. Used to play for Ole Miss. Had a little spat there with Lane Kiffin, and he found his way to Baylor, and he's really made himself at home there at Baylor. But Baylor's got a linebacker there, Amarion Winston, 11 tackles, 2 sacks. Keaton Thomas, 51 tackles. Safety Jacob Red, 19 tackles, 2 picks. TCU's quarterback Josh Hoover, 1,893 yards, 18 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 69.6 QBR, 38th in the country. TCU running back Kavorian Barnes, 49 carries, 285, 1 touchdown. Wide receiver Eric McAllister, 21 receptions, 541 yards, 7 touchdowns. Jordan Dwyer, 25 receptions, 357, 2 touchdowns. And Joseph Manjack, 27 receptions, 309, 2 touchdowns. TCU linebackers Caleb Ilarms-Orr, 48 tackles, 3 sacks. Nnamdi Obiazor, 45 tackles, 2 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 1 interception. Safety Jamal Johnson, 48 tackles, 3 interceptions. Whew. A lot of these names I'm not going to know how to pronounce. I'm just going to spit something out at you, okay? Baylor's offense, 494 yards a game, 348 through the air, 145 on the ground, 36 points a game. Baylor's defense, 402, 225 through the air, 177 on the ground, 29 points a game. TCU's 439 yards per game, 322 passing, 116 rushing, 35 points per game. TCU defense, 373, giving up 240 passing, 133 on the ground, and 24 points a game. This one's going to be a shootout, okay? Both high-powered offenses, both quarterbacks thrown for a lot of yards, a lot of touchdowns, very few turnovers. Baylor's got the edge on the run game. Let's see, Baylor's offense. They have 145 on the ground to TCU's 116. Baylor has the edge on the passing game, 348. I think Baylor has the best yeah, okay. TCU's 5th in passing in the country. Baylor's 1st. Okay, so Baylor doesn't have a problem throwing the football, but neither does TCU. Both teams in the top 5 in the country passing the football. Defensively, though, they're both they're abysmal on defense. They don't really play good defense. They win a lot of games, shootouts. That's been the thing for a long time. This is going to be Big 12 football at its finest, I feel like. And 65.5 points, that's a lot of points, but I like it. And TCU is the favorite, minus 2.5. But on this one, I'm going to take Baylor just because I think Baylor has played a tougher schedule, tougher opponents. Like I said, they've lost to Arizona State and Auburn. TCU has lost to Arizona State and just lost to Kansas State this past week. But I'm going to take Baylor to win this one, 45-39. High scoring, lots of touchdowns. I like Baylor's ground game, but I think most of the points are going to be scored through the air. Shootout, but Baylor comes out victorious at TCU. Next game, number 4, Texas A&M at Arkansas. A&M 6-0, Arkansas 2-4. A&M's the favorite, minus 7.5, total 62.5. A&M minus 300, Arkansas plus 250. Okay. A&M has a stretch here of road games. They just played Florida at home, but they have Arkansas, they play LSU, and they play Missouri on the road before they play a home game again. So we know Arkansas is not that good. They're 2-4. Their coach got fired. They got Petrino in there as the interim. Could be the head man. Who knows? But Arkansas, if they had a defense, that their record would probably be maybe 5-1. They probably would have lost to Notre Dame, but if they had a defense, they could have won those other games. They could have beat, who was it? Ole Miss, Memphis. So let's just look right here. Arkansas has beaten Alabama A&M, Arkansas State, lost to Ole Miss, lost to Memphis, lost to Notre Dame, lost to Tennessee. So 3 of those 4, I think Arkansas could have won had they had a defense. A&M has beaten UTSA, Utah State, Notre Dame, Auburn, Mississippi State, Florida. Okay, so this could be a trap game for A&M. A&M could be looking ahead at who they play the 2 weeks following this Arkansas team. Do I see it happening? I think A&M did that last year. They had a look ahead the week they played Auburn, and it bit them in the butt. I don't see that happening again. However, Arkansas, one of the best defenses or one of the best offenses in the country. They can score a lot of points. I'll break that down here in a second. But A&M's quarterback, Marcel Reed, 1,480 yards on the year, 12 touchdowns, 4 picks, 69.3 QBR, 41st in the country. A&M's running back just went down, Le'Veon Moss. They hit 70 carries, 389 yards, 6 touchdowns. He just went down this past week against Florida. Elko says he's going to be out for a significant amount of time, so we don't expect to see him play in Arkansas this week. However, they do have Ruben Owens, 56 carries, 327, 1 touchdown. And then A&M, they have some weapons at receiver. Mario Craver, 32 receptions, 634, 4 touchdowns. KC Concepcion, 28 receptions, 447, and 5 touchdowns. Defensive end, Cassius Howell, he's a freak, 14 tackles, 8 sacks. Linebacker Torian York, 39 tackles, 1 sack. Linebacker Damian Sanford, 27 tackles, 2.5 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 1 interception. Arkansas quarterback Taylon Green, efficient, a weapon, a legitimate, just phenomenal quarterback. He's at Arkansas, so a lot of people don't know much about him, but he's legit. Taylon Green's got 1,654 yards, 14 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 71 carries for 504 and 3 touchdowns, 89.9 QBR, second in the country. Running back Mike Washington, 80 carries, 524, 5 touchdowns. Braylon Russell, 40 carries, 212, 3 touchdowns. Wide receiver Omega Blake, 35 for 424 and 3 touchdowns. And you got this defensive lineman, Quincy Rhodes Jr., 24 tackles, 5 sacks. Linebacker Stephen Dix Jr., 44 tackles. Xavier Sori Jr., 42 tackles, 1 forced fumble, 1 INT. And then Philip Lee, D lineman, 22 tackles, 2.5 sacks. Texas A&M offense, 458 yards a game, 265 passing, 193 rushing, 34 points per game. A&M's defense, 294 yards per game, 191 passing, 103 rushing, 20 points per game. Listen to this, though. Arkansas's offense, 511 yards per game. That's more than A&M. 293 passing. That's more than A&M. 218 rushing. That's more than A&M. 36 points per game. That's more than A&M. So statistically, their offense is better equipped to score and passing or running the football. Statistically, Arkansas is better in that category. But when you go down and look at their defense, significantly worse. Arkansas's defense gives up 435 a game, 251 through the air, 184 on the ground, and 30 points a game. When you give up 30 points a game, it's hard to win a lot of games. A&M's giving up 20 points a game. In a league where offenses are built to be explosive and score a lot of points, if you give up 20 a game, you have a chance to win a lot of games, and that's probably why A&M is 6-0 at this point in the season. But I could see A&M dropping this one. I could see it being a look ahead. I could see A&M coming out, and they're going to play good defense. We know they will, but Arkansas's offense is going to score points. I believe that. I don't think this is going to be a 20-17 type game. I don't think it'll be a defensive game at all. I think it's going to be one that will be close. A&M might pull away late. Arkansas may turn the ball over here and there, but I think it'll be close all the way to the end. I think A&M will pull it out. Arkansas's offense is 6th in yards per game, 18th in pass yards per game, 17th in rush yards per game, and 27th in points per game. So that shows you how good their offense is. I didn't write down their defensive stats, but I think they're all in the hundreds. Like their defense is not good. Offense wins games, defense wins championships. So Arkansas can win this game at home. I mean, I've seen more stranger things happen. That 7.5, I wouldn't take A&M to cover. I mean, my score prediction does have them covering, but I would probably just take A&M. I'd probably take the points, honestly. I'd probably go over 62.5. I feel like that's safe. I'm not sure what these teams do when they play, if it's always a low scoring or high scoring game. But I don't have to know because I know what Arkansas has. Arkansas is the worst team, but they can score a lot of points. We've seen them do it all year long, and I think this is another instance where they do it again. But I have A&M winning this game, 39-31. I like that score. What do you think, though? If you disagree, let me know. Next game, number 5, Ole Miss at number 9, Georgia. Game day is going to be there. Georgia is the favorite, minus 7.5. Total 54.5. Georgia moneyline minus 260. Ole Miss plus 215. Ole Miss 6-0. Georgia 5-1. Georgia's lone loss is to Alabama. That's their kryptonite. Ole Miss has beaten Georgia State, Kentucky, Arkansas, Tulane, LSU, Washington State, a game they almost lost. Georgia's beaten Marshall, Austin Peay, Tennessee, Alabama, or lost Alabama, beat Kentucky, and beat Auburn. Okay. Ole Miss quarterback Trinidad Chambliss, he's got 1,286 yards, 7 touchdowns, 1 pick, 61 carries, 281, 3 touchdowns, 84.2 QBR, 8th in the country. Running back Quan Lacey, 126 carries, 587 yards, 8 touchdowns. Harrison Wallace III, 17 receptions, 361 yards, 2 touchdowns. Caden Lee, 15 receptions, 282, 2 touchdowns. Tight end Luke Hass, 26 receptions, 324, 4 touchdowns. Defense tackle Will Eccles, 28 tackles, 3 sacks. Linebacker TJ Daughtery, 37 tackles, 1 forced fumble. And Xavier Harris, 25 tackles, 2 sacks, 1 interception. Georgia quarterback Gunnar Stockton, 1,264 yards, 6 touchdowns, 1 interception. 48 carries, 220 yards, 6 touchdowns. 88 QBR, third in the country. Okay, so both quarterbacks are in the top 10 in the country in QBR. Neither quarterback. Both have over 1,000 yards. Both pretty dead even on the passing, the picks, and the touchdown ratio. And both a lot of carries, 200 yards, several touchdowns. So both quarterbacks are about even there. Let's go down and look at running back Chauncey Bowen, 60 carries, 315, 4 touchdowns. Nate Frazier, 60 carries, 277, 2 touchdowns. Wide receiver Colby Young, 22 receptions, 300 yards, 1 touchdown. Zachariah Branch, 27 for 291, 2 touchdowns. Linebacker C.J. Allen, 46 tackles, 3 sacks, 1 forced fumble. DB Jonel Aguero, 17 tackles, 1 interception. Ole Miss offense, 515 yards a game, 311 passing, 204 rushing, 37 points a game. Ole Miss defense, 337 yards per game, 180 passing, 157 rushing, 19 points a game. Georgia's offense, 414 a game, 228 passing, 185 rushing, 32 points a game. So statistically, Ole Miss's offense is better. Georgia's defense, 307 yards a game, 215 passing, 91 rushing, 17 points a game. So Georgia has a better run defense. Ole Miss has them beat in the passing category, okay? Here's what I'll say. I wrote down some things. Here's what I wrote down. I said if Ole Miss leaves Athens victorious, it'll come on Trinidad Chambliss's best passing game of the year. I don't see, like I said, Georgia's run defense, 91 yards a game, despite how good Ole Miss's run game is and who they have at running back, Kawan Lacey. I've heard a lot about him this year. I think he's a good guy. I think he's a good football player. I think Ole Miss is a good team, but I don't think they're going to beat Georgia by running the football. It's going to have to be this Trinidad Chambliss cat. He's got 3 rushing touchdowns on the year. He's going to have to put the team on his back, okay? They're going into Athens. It's game day. The Bulldogs are going to be ready. We're going to have to see what Lane Kiffin and his guys are made of, okay? if he thinks they're made for big moments like this, we're going to have to see. Kirby Smart, he was calling a timeout. He said he was clapping, but we know he lied. So, of course, he's not going to admit. He's not going to tell the truth. We don't expect him to, but that's neither here nor there. But when I look at this, I said if Ole Miss's offensive line can hold up, I expect some big plays in the passing game. However, expect Georgia to run the ball and control the clock. If Georgia controls the clock, avoids penalties, sustains a long drive, Georgia's going to win this one effortlessly, and I think they will do that. I think they will just run the ball, throw it here and there. But I don't plan to see too much from Stockton through the air. I just plan to see a solid game on the ground from Georgia. And like I said, that boy Stockton has got 6 rush touchdowns on the year. So expect him to have a lot of run plays as well. But I think Georgia's going to win this one. They'll control the clock. They'll have time of possession in their hand. Georgia's going to win this one, in my opinion, 27-14. Now, hear me out. I'm only giving Ole Miss 14 points. Georgia's the favorite, minus 7.5. I'm giving Ole Miss 14 points. When this game starts, Ole Miss could come out like Tennessee did a few weeks ago against Georgia. They could come out hot, red hot, and score some points quick. But so if Ole Miss jumps ahead early, don't expect that. And this is Gridiron Gilly's words of it. This is his advice. This is what Gridiron Gilly thinks. I don't know anything. I'm just predicting this is the way I see it going. But I think they won't be able to sustain that. I think Georgia's going to buckle down on defense. And I think Georgia's going to win this one 27-14. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm riding with. I think Ole Miss's defense is going to play pretty good too, but I just think Georgia's going to be too much, especially in the second half. I think Georgia's just a better team. And I think Kirby Smart, despite him being a liar, he's a good coach nonetheless. And Georgia has more to lose here. If they lose the game, they're 5-2. Okay, that's not a good spot to be in when you've already lost to an SEC opponent. Ole Miss 6-0. They can afford to lose one, and I know they don't want to, but this is the game I have them drop. Next game, SMU at Clemson. We got a rematch of the ACC championship last year. Clemson's a favorite, minus 9.5, total 54.5. Moneyline Clemson minus 360, SMU plus 280. SMU 4-2, Clemson 3-3. Kevin Jennings, quarterback SMU, has got 1,658 yards, 15 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 64.4 QBR, 58th in the country. Running back TJ Harden, 85 carries, 415, and 5 touchdowns. Wide receiver Romella Brinson, 32 receptions, 44, 3 touchdowns. I'm wearing my SMU hat right now. You may not can see it, but it's got the little pony on the side. Pony up. Anyways, defensive end Cameron Robertson, 31 tackles, 4.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. Safety Isaiah Nwakobia, don't know how to say that, but he's got 48 tackles, 1 interception. Defensive tackle Jeffrey Mabah, 22 tackles, 4 sacks. And safety Ahmad Moses, 44 tackles, 2 interceptions. Clemson quarterback Cade Klubnik had a lot of hype going into the season. He's got 1,530 yards, 11 touchdowns, 5 picks. 62 QBR, 66th in the country. Adam Randall, 75 carries, 404, and 4 touchdowns. And then he's got 19 receptions, 163 yards, 3 touchdowns. Bryant Wesco, wide receiver, 31 receptions, 537, 6 touchdowns. TJ Moore, 27 receptions, 283, 1 touchdown. Defensive end Will Helt, 22 tackles, 3.5 sacks. Linebacker Wade Woodas, 39 tackles. And then cornerback Avion Terrell, 25 tackles, 3 forced fumbles. So SMU's offense, 404 yards a game, 277 passing, 127 rushing, 34 points a game. So SMU, the bulk of their yards come through the passing game. SMU's defense gives up 423, 315 passing, 107 rushing, 22 points a game. So SMU's secondary gives up a lot of pass yards. Clemson's offense, 408 yards a game, 278 passing, so one more yard than SMU, 130 rushing, so 3 more yards, and then 26 points a game. They score less points offensively, but do just a smidge better in the passing and rush game than them. Let's check their defense out. Clemson's defense gives up 322 yards a game, 217 passing, 105 rushing, 18 points a game. So significantly way less pass yards. Defense, the rush defense is about the same. I don't think either team has a good run game to begin with, so don't expect to see much there in the run game. If one of these teams do establish the run, I think it would be probably, let's see here. Let's look at TJ Harden, 85 carries, 415, 5 touchdowns. Adam Randall, 75 for 404, 4 touchdowns. Maybe SMU. I would like to see them be able to run the football. I know this was a close game last year. Like I said, the ACC championship, there's a walk-off field goal there at the end. Clemson beat them 34-31 to win the championship. Neither team's as good this year, though. Neither team's as good. I expect a big game from both quarterbacks, Jennings and Klubnik. But I feel the crowd may be an issue for Jennings. I think Jennings is a good quarterback, like I just said. But they're playing in Death Valley, Clemson's Death Valley, that is. Clemson's backs against the wall, 3-3. That place, it's a hostile environment from what I've heard. Never been there, but just from what I hear, hostile environment. And SMU going in there, they played neutral last year, but going into that environment, I would like to see SMU fight, be competitive, and I do have it a close game. At the end of the day, though, I have Clemson winning this one 28-24. So at the end of the day, they'll both be 4-3. I would love to see SMU pull it off, but I'm going to say 28-24 is going to be the score. I'll probably take SMU plus 9.5 on that one. Next game I'm going to do is Maryland at UCLA. Maryland at UCLA. Maryland's 4-2. UCLA's 2-4. UCLA's the favorite minus 3.5. Total 52.5. UCLA money lines minus 145. Maryland's plus 125. Maryland's quarterback Malik Washington, 1,506 yards, 10 touchdowns, 2 picks, 61 QBR, 68th in the country. Running back DeJuan Williams, 69 carries, 245, 2 touchdowns. Wide receiver Shalik Knox, 23 for 367 and 5 touchdowns. Octavian Smith Jr., 22 receptions, 359 yards. Jalil Farouk, 22 receptions, 248 yards. Tight end Dorian Fleming, 26 for 204 and 2 touchdowns. Got a few guys there that can catch the football in Maryland. D lineman Zahir Mathis, 23 tackles, 4.5 sacks. Linebacker Daniel Wingate, 56 tackles, 1 sack, 1 INT. D lineman Sidney Stewart, 16 tackles, 4.5 sacks. I talked about these guys last week. I think they're all pretty young, freshmen, sophomore guys on that defensive line, and they're not bad. Maryland's not bad. They're 4-2. I think they dropped their last 2. Maryland's beaten Florida Atlantic, Northern Illinois, Towson, Wisconsin, lost to Washington, lost to Nebraska, but they lost those games by a combined 7 points. UCLA lost to Utah, UNLV, New Mexico, Northwestern. They fired their coach, of course, and then they've beaten Penn State and Michigan State. Penn State lost like 3 in a row as well. They fired their coach. Let's check this out here. We have UCLA quarterback Nico Imalava, 1,134 yards, 9 touchdowns, 3 picks, 68.1 QBR, 47th in the country, 66 carries, 335, 4 touchdowns. Running back Anthony Woods, 43 carries, 222 yards. Wide receiver Quasi Gilmer, 26 for 313 and 2 touchdowns. D-line Anthony Jones, 14 tackles, 1.5 sacks. Linebacker John Vaughns, 58 tackles. Safety Key Lawrence, 35 tackles, 2 forced fumbles. Maryland offense, 354, 255 passing, 99 rushing, 30 points per game. Maryland's defense, 340 yards, 228 passing, 112 rushing, 16 points per game. UCLA offense, 356, 189 passing, 167 rushing, 22 points a game. And then UCLA's defense, 369, 173 pass, 195 rush, 29 points a game. Well, UCLA's defense is better in the pass category. They're significantly worse in the rush category. And then offensively, Maryland doesn't run the ball well. UCLA looks like they do, but Maryland looks like they pass the ball well. Last week, Maryland played Nebraska. At the time, Nebraska's defense was ranked number one statistically in pass defense. Maryland lost that game, close one, and I think Malik Washington did all right throwing the football against Nebraska. So when I look at this one, UCLA is the favorite. They're on like a 2-game win streak versus Maryland, dropping their last 2 games. It's at UCLA. Maryland's got a long drive to get to the West Coast, or flight to get to the West Coast to Los Angeles. I think with this one though, I think Maryland's got the edge defensively. Okay, like I said, UCLA they're the favorite, -3.5. Maryland's got a long flight. The odds are stacked against them right now, which is why I'll take Maryland to win this one. I got it 33-28, a close one. UCLA fights. I think they like their new coach, that blonde headed. Well, I need to give him a nickname. The blonde headed bandit. That sounds good. But either way, the blonde bandit. I don't think his team gets it done this week. I think UCLA drops that one to Maryland. Next game, 11 Tennessee at 6 Alabama. Bama's a favorite -8.5. Total 58.5. Bama money line -320. Tennessee +260. Both teams 5-1. Tennessee has beaten Syracuse, Eastern Tennessee State, maybe ETSU. Lost to Georgia. Beat UAB. Beat Mississippi State. Beat Arkansas. Alabama's lost to FSU. Beat Monroe. Beat Wisconsin. Beat Georgia. Beat Vandy. Beat Missouri. Okay. So Bama's done pretty good ever since that loss to Florida State when everybody counted them out. Tennessee quarterback Joey Aguilar's got 1,680 yards, 14 touchdowns, 5 picks, 73.1 QBR, 33rd in the country. Running backs Deshaun Bishop and Star Thomas, both stellar on the ground, 63 for 41 and 5, and then 62 for 328 and 4. Wide receiver Chris Brazzell II, 32 receptions, 536, 7 touchdowns. Mike Matthews, 25 for 416, 2 touchdowns. Tight end Miles Kitselman, 19 for 204 and 2 touchdowns. D-line Tyree West, 15 tackles, 4 sacks, 1 forced fumble. Linebacker Aaron Carter, 57 tackles, 1 sack, 1 forced fumble. D-tackle Dominic Bailey, 14 tackles, 3.5 sacks. Defensive end Joshua Josephs, 25 tackles, 4 sacks, 3 forced fumbles. Bama quarterback Ty Simpson, 1,678 through the air, 16 touchdowns, 1 INT, 81.5 QBR, 16th in the country. Running back Jam Miller, 58 for 267, 1 touchdowns. Wide receivers Jeremy Bernard, 28 for 267 and 5. Ryan Williams, 21 for 336 and 3. Isaiah Horton, 21 for 270 and 4. LT Overton on the D-line, 20 tackles, 3 sacks. Justin Jefferson, 35 tackles, 1 sack, 1 forced fumble, 1 INT. And then you got DB Bray Hubbard, 24 tackles, 1 forced fumble, 3 interceptions. Tennessee's offense, 527 yards a game, 317, 210, 48 points a game. Reminds me a lot of Arkansas. Great offense, not so great defense. Tennessee's defense gives up 393, 258, 135 rushing, 29 points a game. Alabama's averaging 431 yards, 304 passing, 126 rushing, 34 points a game. Alabama's defense giving up 293, 136 passing, 156 rushing, and 17 points a game. So Bama has the edge in the defensive pass category. Tennessee's defense is better against the run than what Alabama is statistically. On this one, I said Tennessee's going to have to be able to run the football. Bama is stingy in their pass defense, but have shown vulnerability in the run game. I wrote that down, and that's what the stats say. Bama is stingy in the pass defense. Their pass defense, like I said, giving up 136 yards a game, but has shown vulnerability in the run game, giving up 156 on the ground. This one, like I said, Tennessee reminds me a lot of Arkansas. Tennessee and Arkansas just played. Either team could have won that one because neither team has that good of a defense. I think Arkansas is significantly better than Alabama. Tennessee's going into Tuscaloosa to play Alabama in this one. Nothing in me thinks Heupel and the Volunteers walk out of this one victorious. I'm taking Tennessee to lose. I'm taking Bama to win. And I'm going to take Bama to win this one. I think Bama covers that 8.5. I think Bama wins this one by more than what people are expecting. And I'm going to give Bama 42-27 to win this game. 42-27. Bama's going to beat Tennessee by Gridiron Gilly's opinion. That's what I think. That's what I'm riding with. Next game. Now this one right here is going to be the one to watch. A big rivalry here. Rivalry renewed. 20 USC at 13 Notre Dame. Notre Dame's a favorite, minus 8.5. Total 61.5. Moneyline Notre Dame minus 300. USC plus 250. USC's 5-1. Notre Dame's 4-2. USC has beaten Missouri State, Georgia Southern, Purdue, Michigan State, lost to Illinois, beat Michigan convincingly. Notre Dame's lost to Miami, lost to Texas A&M, beaten Purdue, Arkansas, Boise State, NC State. Them losses are respectable, though, on Notre Dame's the first two games. I think hardly anybody could have beat those teams to start the year, or now. Quarterback Jade Mayava for USC. He's got 1,852 yards, 13 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 93.1 QBR. That's first in the country, guys. Running back Wayman Jordan. He's hurt. I'm not sure what the injury is, but I don't think he's playing this week. But he leads the team with 88 carries, 576, and 5 touchdowns. They got this cat, Eli Sanders, 47 carries, 264, 2 touchdowns. Okay? And you got wide receivers. Jacoby Lane, he's got 18 receptions, 313, and 2 touchdowns. You got Lake McCree, 14 receptions, 289, and 1 touchdown. And then, let me check real quick because I got written down this receiver's got 44 receptions, 682, and 6 touchdowns. I think that's going to be that Lemons, that USC. Let's just take a gander at it. Pretty sure his last name Lemons. Either way, Cat's got 44 receptions, 682, and 6 touchdowns, so he's a difference maker. Let's just go make sure. I want to give this guy a shout out. Pretty sure that's who it is. Yep. That's going to be Mekhi Lemon right there. Mekhi Lemon. That boy has 44 receptions, 682, 6 touchdowns. On the defense, they got Braylon Shelby, 14 tackles, 3.5 sacks. Linebacker Eric Gentry, 41 tackles, 3 sacks, 3 forced fumbles. Defensive end Cameron Fountain, 16 tackles, 2.5 sacks. Safety Bishop Fitzgerald, 30 tackles, 5 interceptions. So USC's problem, for as long as I can remember, is their defense. Their defense has always been suspect. Their defense is why they lose late. If you watch USC for the last 20 years, they usually score a lot of points. Their offense is usually pretty solid, but their defense loses them games late in the year. And I don't know. USC is in a different conference now, so maybe things can change. Maybe they can buckle up and tighten up on defense. But anyways, Notre Dame's quarterback, C.J. Carr, 1,622 yards, 13 touchdowns, 3 picks, 83.6 QBR, 11th in the country. Jeremiah Love, probably best player on the field, 100 carries, 530, 8 touchdowns, 14 receptions, 163 touchdowns. Jadarian Price, 63 carries, 422, and 7 touchdowns. Wide receiver Jordan Faison, 27 receptions, 376, 2 touchdowns. Malachi Fields, 18 receptions, 339, 2 touchdowns. D lineman. Sorry, buddy, I don't know how to pronounce your name, but I'm going to say it's Boubacar Traore, 25 tackles, 5.5 sacks, 1 forced fumble. Linebacker Drake Brown, 31 tackles, 1 sack. Cornerback Leonard Moore, 12 tackles, 1 forced fumble, 3 INTs. USC's offense. 552 yards a game, 325 passing, 226 rushing, 45 points a game. So their offense is pretty daggum solid. Their defense, 352 yards a game, 243 passing, 108 rushing, 21 points a game. So So you can throw on their defense. And like I said, their run game, they 226 rushes, but the running back is hurt right now. So they could be vulnerable. Notre Dame's offense, 465, 292 passing, 172 rushing, 40 points a game. So both of them light the scoreboard up well. Notre Dame's defense, 350 yards a game, 245 passing, 105 rushing, 20 points a game. So defensively, they're pretty much dead even in every category on the defensive side of the ball as far as yards per game, passing, rushing, points per game, what they do on third down, and this, that, and the other, turnovers, penalties. Gridiron Gilly does not know that. So that could be a hidden gem here to determine who's going to win this game, is checking out those categories. But what Gridiron Gilly does know is what Gridiron Gilly just told you, and that is both of them are pretty dead even on the defensive side of the ball. USC runs the ball for more yards, throws the ball for more yards, but they both score over 40 points a game. Notre Dame's the favorite in this one, -8.5. It is a home game for them. It is a rivalry. Surprise game day is not going to be there. I have written down here, I said USC playmakers on offense will be the difference maker here. And that's going to be the Lemon. That's going to be Jacoby Lane, Lake McCree, all those guys, all the weapons that Jade Mayava has. Okay, they're going to have to be the difference makers here. They can run the ball. They can throw the ball. It's going to be an offensive game. Okay, offense wins you games. Defense wins you championships. This could be a championship game. This could be a playoff game. Both teams are great teams. Notre Dame, they'll probably be in the playoffs, even 4-2. They're expected to win this one. What do I think? Do I think they'll win this one? I don't know. I expect both teams to throw the football a lot. Like I said, you got one quarterback who's number 1 in the country QBR. The other one's 11, CJ Carr. Jeremiah Love, like I said, he's probably the best player on the field this Saturday for either team. USC's defense gives up 108 on the ground. So they're going to try to stop that run game from Jeremiah Love. But like I said, CJ Carr, he can expose you in the passing game. I don't know, man. This one's going to be exciting. I don't know who's going to win. I don't know if I want to take USC to pull the upset or if I want to take Notre Dame to just win outright. 8.5 points is a lot of points, I feel like, for this game. But what I do know is the total is 61.5, and I think both teams will score more than that. So I'll just go over 61.5 points on this one. I don't know who's going to win, but I'm going to say they'll both score in the 30s. It'd be a shocker if USC did beat them in South Bend, though, I'll tell you that. Last game I'm going to break down, number 23 Utah at number 15 BYU. Utah goes into this one 5-1. Their long loss to Texas Tech. BYU 6-0. What I don't like about BYU is their quarterback situation. The dude's wearing number 47, I believe. I don't like that. But BYU, Kalani Sitake, he's their head coach. They pound the rock. They play good football, quality football. They hold on to the football. They protect the football. They play fundamentally sound football. They're the Mormon brethren up there, and Utah do. So shout out them. Utah's the favorite, -3.5. Total 49.5. Utah moneyline -175. BYU +150. Quarterback Devon Dampier for Utah. He's got 1,131 yards, 11 touchdowns, 3 picks, 65 carries for 378, 5 touchdowns, 83.2 QBR, 13th in the country. Had a lot of great things to say about him all year long, and I will continue to say those things until proven wrong. Running back Wayshawn Parker, 52 carries, 335, 3 touchdowns. Macquarie Rogers, 71 carries, 298, 6 touchdowns. Wide receiver Ryan Davis, 39 receptions, 416, 2 touchdowns. Tight end Dallin Bentley, 24 for 270 and 3 touchdowns. Defensive end John Henry Daly, 30 tackles, 8 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. Linebacker Jonathan Hall, 30 tackles, 1 INT. Listen to this right here. BYU quarterback Bear Bachmeier, 1,220 yards passing, 8 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 71 carries for 295, 7 touchdowns, 73.8 QBR, 32nd in the country. What I like about this game specifically, both teams, both quarterbacks have that ability, have that game-changing ability. Devon Dampier, he can hurt you in the run game. He can hurt you in the pass game. Either one, you have to account for him in both. Bear Bachmeier, I think he's more of a runner. But by what I'm seeing here, 7 touchdowns. Maybe get down there in the red zone, and maybe he's a legitimate threat to run the football down there and score some touchdowns. Maybe that's why he's got 7 touchdowns on the ground. Maybe like a Jalen Hurts type player. But what I know about both of these teams, I know Utah was a dog in the Pac-12 forever. They've got a great head coach. They changed some things around. They had a bad year last year. BYU's always going to be tough. As long as Sataki's there, they're always going to be tough. It don't matter who they have on the defensive side. They're going to be tough, and they're going to play quality football. So this one's going to be physical, I feel like. 49.5 points. If you go over 49.5 points, that's 50, 25, 24 type game. I don't know. I think it'll be – I don't see this being a high-scoring game. I just don't. I feel like both defenses are good enough. Offenses are good. Offenses are rolling. I ain't even talked about BYU. Let me break that down, okay? I just talked about the quarterback, running back L.J. Martin, 101 carries, 652, 4 touchdowns. Chase Roberts, receiver, 22 for 420, 3 touchdowns. Parker Kingston, 23 for 333 and 2 touchdowns. Linebacker Jack Kelly, 21 tackles, 4 sacks, 1 forced fumble. Siali Ezra, 31 tackles. Isaiah Glasker, 26 tackles, 2 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 2 interceptions. Utah's offense, 459 yards per game, 211 passing, 248 rushing, 39 points a game. Utah's defense, 293 yards a game, 153 passing, 139 rushing, 13 points a game. BYU offense, 448 yards a game, so close to Utah, 210 passing, very close to Utah, 238 rushing, very close to Utah, 37 points. Pretty similar, offense and defense. Utah's got the edge statistically, but just barely. And defensively, BYU gives it 263 yards a game, 159 passing, pretty close to Utah, 104 rushing. They play better run defense there, and then 14 points a game, 1 more point than what Utah gives up. Utah's beaten UCLA, Cal Poly, Wyoming, lost to Texas Tech, beat Virginia, or West Virginia that is, and beat Arizona State. BYU's beaten Portland State, Stanford, Eastern Carolina, Colorado, West Virginia, and Arizona. Teams complement each other well, I feel like. What both teams do on the offense, as alike as they are on the offensive side of the ball, I feel the same way about the defense. And they're both in Utah. I don't know what it is about Utah football, but these teams remind me a lot of each other. And I like both their head coaches a lot. Utah's a favorite, -3.5. It's a night game. I know how good both teams are playing at night. It's tough. It's a coin flip. But like with every other game, as important as these teams are, Utah, I said before the season started that they were a contender in the Big 12, that either them or Texas Tech would be in the Big 12 championship, if not both of them. BYU is ranked higher. They're undefeated. I think Utah's got more to lose here, and that's why I'm taking them to win. I'm taking Utah to win this one 27-21. I just feel like I've been on Devon Dampier all year long before the season started, and I've said a lot of great things about him this year. And I'll continue, like I said, until proven otherwise. I'm going to be a Devon Dampier guy, and I think he's a game changer and he's a difference maker. And he's the reason why I'm going to take Utah to win this one 27-21. So that's the 10 games I broke down. I'll probably get at least 1 or 2 of them wrong. It happens. But if you disagree, let me know. If you agree with me, let me know. And you tell me what you think. But that's the bottom line because Gridiron Gilly said so.